Hey guys, so in the past week or so, the market has been in a really rough spot with a lot of people saying that we're in a recession. There's many indicators showing that we could go into a recession, but I'm not going to waste any time. I'm just going to tell you what I'm doing about this. And this video is going to be about Palantir stock, how I'm running the wheel strategy on Palantir stock, and why I think that you should ignore the recession. Because overall, if you stick to the wheel strategy, you're going to make income regardless. Now, my portfolio has actually done very well in the past week. I'm down 0.8%. Whereas the market is down a bit more. I do want to go into Palantir right now. I'm going to cover several pieces of news that I think you have to understand, as well as what strikes I will pick for Palantir wheel strategy. Now, keep in mind the stock has earnings, so I quickly want to talk about some things that I did see on X about Palantir, and one of them is that Satya Nadella, the CEO of Microsoft, says that Q2 earnings call, basically the number of paid models and service customers more than doubled quarter over quarter. And we're seeing increased usage by leaders in every industry from Adobe and Bridgestone, etc. Now, Palantir getting a mention from Satya as a leader in their industry is quite special. So look, you have other CEOs basically talking about Alex Karp and the leadership that he has in AI. Now, I don't think Microsoft can buy Palantir or anything like that, but him, getting kind of like a shout out just kind of says a lot. Now, the second piece of news I want to talk about is Cathie Wood. I mean, she has just bought Palantir, which just from a news perspective, I think is really interesting. And the most important thing I want to cover right now is, I know everyone's like worried about a stock market crash, but look, Q2 earnings are coming out on Monday for Palantir, and I firmly believe, like if you look at the price right here at 24.65, I think we're at a very, very good level just to simply get in using the wheel strategy to generate income on this stock. I mean, I think there's just so much opportunity here by selling put options to jump in. I would definitely jump in at the $24 level. I'll explain to you why in just a moment, but you can see here the delta is 0.39, very high implied volatility. That is because of earnings. So let's just quickly talk about what I basically expect to happen during earnings. Now look, this is what this gentleman Arnie Trezzi talked about in terms of what he thinks CEO Karp will say. And I'm going to go over a lot of these points right here and tell you which ones I basically think are the most important and what I think is going to happen. Now the first one is AI demand is real and disruptive. Now this is a fact. AI is going to be the future, and the fact that Palantir has a stake in AI, I think, makes this stock a really powerful stock to be invested in. Not even running the wheel strategy necessarily, just owning stock. Now, of course, running the wheel strategy is even more beneficial because you sell puts to get in, you collect income, and then as you run the covered calls, when you do get assigned, then you're still generating income. So, I'm a big fan of income. I think income is so useful for everyone out there looking to, whether it's retire or just live a good lifestyle and not have to work a 9-to-5 job, or just to, get to retirement faster one day. I think the wheel strategy is one of the top strategies for safe income. Now, the next one is AIP. Has unprecedented market fit. Yeah, it does, but not as important as number one. Only Palantir provides value in AI. That's not really that true. There's a lot of companies in AI. They thought we were idiots and now they're copying us, trying. Another one that is, we are the most valuable SaaS. This is a very bold statement. So although there's a lot of stuff here that I agree with, there's a lot of bold statements. Without ontology, your LLMs are useless. So ontology is something that's really important. It's another growing trend, and Palantir has its hands in the pockets of ontology. All right, so everyone is focused on the chat, but the value is in AI agents. Another thing that Palantir is working on, it's pretty interesting in terms of AI, right, and focusing on chat. But obviously a lot of this stuff is kind of jokes, so let's keep moving on to what I think is important. Obviously 1,000 ROIC is not going to happen. We humiliate other solutions in the market. Now, to a certain degree, this is actually true. Palantir does humiliate other solutions. They do have more brand, they have more relationships. So in terms of competition, it's slim to none. Kind of switch down here. I wanted to talk about, I want to go down here a little bit lower into 18. We can move the US productivity by developing AI in manufacturing. This is such a huge one. This is actually part of the reason why Palantir has such a big valuation, is because AI in manufacturing is going to replace a lot of jobs, and that's going to save companies a lot of money, and that's going to create a lot of income for Palantir's consulting services. Now, there's a whole bunch of stuff on this list. You can just take a look at it. Obviously, I don't think a lot of this is going to matter for Palantir stock, but I already talked about the most important one, which is AI. So going back here, what I'm going to suggest or recommend here is that the 24 put is a very good entry into Palantir. Just look at actually the chart here on Palantir. This stock actually has a lot of support. So if I go to the 3 months chart right now, you can see here how, yes, the stock was a lot higher. It was actually pushing towards $30 per share, but there is very strong support, very hard bounce here from the June 21st level at around the high 23. So let's just call it $24 per share. So Palantir has now retracted along with the rest of the market. You guys have already watched all of these videos about market crash and etc. Every YouTuber is making that video. I'm not going to do that right now. I just want to point out that if you want to make money, I think this is one of the top plays. Now I want to take a look at earnings a little bit closer because I was reading right here the analysts did adjust Palantir stock price target ahead of earnings. Now this is something that I was actually doing when I was working on Wall Street. I was looking at earnings adjustments, and those are very, very important actually. Taking a look at an earnings adjustment is basically, say that an analyst thought that they were going to report 8 cents on average. There's like 10 analysts and it's 8 cents on average. And now a bunch of analysts changed their opinion and they're now going to report 10 cents. That is a big difference. From 8 to 10 cents doesn't sound like a lot, but it's actually like a 20% difference. So basically, let's just kind of go over this real quick. So Alex Karp was saying that I think it's fair to say that we crushed Q1 in the US. All right, so that's cool. So what's going to happen in Q2? As to why the data analysis software provider co-founded by the billionaire investor Peter Thiel in 2003 is winning in the US, Karp said Palantir built software infrastructure that allows enterprises, both commercial and government, to move beyond chat, move beyond self-pleasuring to actually produce things that are valuable. I dare remind people that there was a time when no one thought we'd be profitable, when no one thought we could crack commercial, where revenue per person was called into question, he said. And now, by the way, revenue per person is something that's very important because when you have a lot of employees and low revenue, then you can't really be valued as a high company. I mean, sure, Walmart is valued pretty highly, but in general, revenue per employee is very low, so they have a lot of employees. Whereas that's not the case with Palantir. Palantir is not going to get a bunch of store clerks and cashiers. Palantir has the very high level consultants, AI professionals, data analysts, etc. So they need to have very high revenue per person. And that was called into question before, not anymore. Karp said the company does face headwinds in Europe, where 16% of its business is located. Europe is gliding towards 0% GDP growth over the next couple of years, he said. That is a problem for us. There is no easy remedy for that. It is also the case, though, that US, by comparison, surpassed the US-European commercial, and we see that as favorable. While the company's sales are driven largely by helping the US government with its counterterrorism efforts, Palantir has also pushed more deeply into managing, interpreting, and reporting data for large companies. Data is the new oil, and data is absolutely why I am bullish on Palantir, and I have a degree in data analytics. I have a degree in finance, economics, data analytics, or business analytics. It was pretty much the same thing, data and business analytics. That's what I studied at Drexel, and I had some time at Penn. So Palantir CEO, super proud of the results. Karp said there were a lot of questions about why we are so active in defending the value of the West. Well, because he makes money off of the West. Anyways, long story short, given all of this news, given what is going on with Cathie Wood, given Q2 earnings are coming out very, very shortly on Monday, I would say that the biggest bet that you can make in terms of Palantir is just simply sticking to the wheel, not really paying attention to all the news of market crash. Market's going to go up and down. Actually, if you take a look into perspective, what happened to the SPY, it's not even that big of a deal because look at the 3 months. Yes, we are down from these fun levels, but we're still up over the past 3 months. So if I go to year to date, SPY has done fine. I mean, this is pretty normal. I mean, this has already happened in April as well. Like we had a huge pullback. Now we're getting another pullback. I don't really expect this to be like a market crash or anything. I just think that all the YouTube channels are trying to get views and, you know, and CNBC, whatever, they're trying to get more attention. But look, this stuff is normal. Just kind of ignore it. Keep moving on. Keep doing your wheel strategy. Focus on the long-term goal, which is retirement. And don't get super obsessed with the market crashing. Just keep investing your money, dollar cost average, into the best companies, which, you know, Apple for me is a big reason why I actually outperformed the market. I mean, in the past month, I have lost looks like 2%, whereas the market lost more than that. So yeah, I've had some tough times, but I'm doing pretty good because I'm invested in high quality companies, and that's what you should do as well.